Hello everyone, this is Kapil Sharma. I hope you have gone through my previous video. My previous video was on Amazon VPC. This is the video which I am creating on how we can create an EC2 instances in public subnet and private subnet. So let's dig into it. First, let's log into the AWS Management Console. On Management Console, you can go to services called Amazon EC2. And first we will go and check the Amazon VPC. We will click on Amazon VPC and we will just verify whether we have public and private subnet and the new VPC which is created or not. So we will go to your VPC. Here you can see my VPC, the subnet which is already there. The CIDR block of this subnet is 10.0.0.0/16, and the subnet which I have created is I have 3 private subnet and 2 public subnet in it. All of them are in different availability zone. I have 2 route tables, one is for public and one is for private. The subnet associations are also in that way. Subnet association, if we go and see, 2 subnets are there in public, and in private we will be having 3 subnets. Internet gateway, we will just go and check the routes for public route tables. So here in public route tables you can see there is a route for 0.0.0, that is any IP, and it is going through IGW, that is Internet Gateway. So if we go and create an EC2 instance in public subnet, it will have internet access by default, and if we create a the EC2 instance in private subnet, it will not be accessible directly. It has to be accessible via public subnet or maybe a VPN, and it will not have the internet access available in that particular instance. So let's now go and check EC2 services. We will go to EC2 and we will try to populate 2 different EC2 instances. So now here we are there in EC2 dashboard. Here we can go and click on instances. From an instances we can click on launch instance. We will select Amazon Linux AMI2, which is the Linux version of Amazon Linux, and here we will go with T2 micro, which is free tier eligible EC2 instance. Click on next. Here the configuration which we want to select, we will go with 1 number of instance. If you want multiple instances, you can provide the number which you want. And here you can select our VPC, that is my VPC, and the subnet. The most important thing, I will go and select public subnet US East 1A. The auto assign public IP address, the setting is by default there in the subnet, so we will not go and change anything here. It will automatically assign the public IP to this EC2 instance. Now know the settings here. We will go and click on next. By default 8 GB of storage is available. You can select 8 GB, or if you want more than that, you can select more than that as well. In free tier you can go up to 30 GB, which is free tier eligible limit. If you want to add a key tags, you can add key tags. Configuration of security groups, I will not do anything as of now in this. I will create my test security group. So by default it will create this security group, and this will have the access of SSH from any of the IP addresses. So this is not practically good in terms of security. You have to allow the specific IP of your organization or of your ISP provider. If you allow 0.0.0, then anyone can log into your SSH if they have the keys with them from anywhere. We will go and click on launch. I will create a new key pair. Name is my test new key pair, download it, and we'll click on launch instance. So this instance is getting launched in public subnet. Now I will launch one more, the same Amazon Linux AMI. Next, the configuration will remain same as it is, a T2 micro. Here I will select my VPC, and from here now I will select private subnet 1C. This is the private subnet. Click on next. 8 GB of storage. I will select the existing security group which I have created, my test security group. Review and launch. I will click on launch and will select my key pair. So this is how you can launch your instances in public and private subnet. Now what is the difference in that? I will just show it to you. Both the instances are getting launched. Here you can see public subnet instance is already running state. Still status checks are going on, and here you can see public IP is automatically assigned to that particular instance, and in private subnet public IP will not be assigned. Why? Because it is in a private subnet and there is no internet gateway attached to it, and this will only have the private IP address. So the private IP address range is 10.0.3.169. So if you want to access this particular instance, if you want to take an SSH of it, what you can do is you can log into your public subnet instance, and then from there you can SSH to this private subnet EC2 instance. So in this way you will have the access of private subnet instance as well. So some of the use cases are like you can have your public subnet, your EC2 instance handling your web request or your website acting as a web server. You can have it in your public subnet. So all the requests which are coming to your websites will be served by your public subnet instance, and the backend will be your database, wherein your website will be having the database attached to it. So all the requests internally which is happening between web server and the database server happens in a private channel, wherein the web server will communicate to your database server using the private IP address, not a public IP address. So in this way this communication remains secure. No one will have the access to your database from external, from the internet. The only internet facing server will be your web server. So there are many different use cases. You can go and check different use cases, and you can deploy your instances accordingly. You can design your VPC accordingly, and you can implement or you can deploy the instances in that way. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope this is useful. For further digging into it, if you want to go and take the SSH, you can take the SSH of this public subnet, and from there you can take the SSH of this private subnet. So you can do it at your own. If you have any questions, you can write to me in my YouTube channel. You can comment it on my video. I will answer your questions. You are feel free to drop me an email. I will also write my email address in my YouTube description. That is it for this video, guys. I hope this will be useful for you. Few more videos will be coming soon. Stay tuned, and please do like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, guys.